Welcome to the Infinity Travel Studios. I have Richard Bravo with me again today from AmaWaterways. How are you today?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for having me again, Cindy. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. And it looks like we're both ready for Christmas,
Yes.
which works out nicely because Richard's going to talk to us today about Christmas market cruises on AmaWaterways.
Correct. Yeah. Today we'll be talking about Christmas markets on the Rhine specifically, but keep in mind we operate them both on the Rhine as well as the Danube. So if you're thinking of the Danube, think of like Vienna, think of Budapest, think of even pre and post options with Nuremberg and Prague and some other wonderful little towns like Passau and Vilshofen. So lots to choose from. But today again, we'll be highlighting some of those on the Rhine.
That sounds wonderful. That is something I've always wanted to do. I don't like being cold, and I know it's very cold over there this time of year or for Christmas markets, but I can't imagine how magical it looks to see all the cities all decorated for Christmas. And I just think that'd be wonderful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the obvious, at least for me, is with the challenging year that we've all had, this I think can really even be more special. And it's all perspective, right? But
Right.
think about those things that really are the most important things, and family, and just that time to pause a little bit and reflect on all the things that we are blessed with. So hopefully this will inspire that a bit further.
Sounds good to me. So go ahead and start your presentation. I'm looking forward to it.
You've got it. So let me get this showing right now. Hopefully it comes up in just a quick moment. Here we go. Very good. So this first slide that we're seeing here, although it says Christmas markets on the Rhine River, this picture, if you happen to recognize it, is not from the Rhine. This is actually Dresden, Germany. We actually don't stop at Dresden, Germany, but there is a reason that I included it. In addition to the fact that one of our owners, Christine Kars, was actually born in Dresden, Germany. This is her hometown. Dresden is actually accredited as being the first Christmas markets that ever really started. So this dates back to like 1434. So a lot of history here.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just see, and certainly it's grown. But the other thing that's really special about Christmas markets in general, if you just kind of keep this in mind as I move through the presentation, aside from the fact that we don't offer anything like this in North America that comes even remotely close, this is magical. You are on sensory overload when you're in the middle of these Christmas markets, from the smells of the hot sausage links to the glühwein, if it's literally like as you're tasting Christmas, to just looking up and seeing a church steeple that is hundreds and hundreds of years old, and just the history that surrounds you. So very, very special time, and something that I think everyone should include on their list of things to do. So again, just talking about the Christmas markets and the Rhine, but the river cruise experience, right? So for this particular river, we're going to be traveling between Amsterdam, Netherlands, making our way all the way down to Basel, Switzerland. There's pre and post options, but that time on the ship is really special also. If you've never taken a river cruise, it is intimate, it is immersive. But I also like to point out that the ships are not designed to be the destination. Keep in mind, we are taking you to and through the destination. On board the ship, you're going to experience some wonderful amenities, some amazing culinary experiences. We're going to bring all those regional cuisines on board the ship for the different restaurants that we have on board, and the service is going to be second to none. We've won more awards than any other river cruise line out there. Please remember that. This talks about the service, to our shore excursion program, to the meals we're serving on board, and a number of other things as well. But with river cruising, you're on calm waters the entire time. You've got land on both sides of you the entire time. And again, we're really bringing a special Christmas experience on board the ship. The same traditions that you're going to experience at home during Christmas, being that it's about family. Certainly, consider bringing some loved ones on board to experience this with AmaWaterways. We've got a number of ships that will actually accommodate 3 and 4 guests in a stateroom, and we even have a number of connecting staterooms also. So if you want to bring a small group and bring some kids on board as well too, certainly inquire about that as well. This is actually Christine, the third person over from the left of your screen, or second from the right of your screen, with some family here experiencing some glühwein, and that's a really big part of the experience. The glühwein is actually something that you can make with a red or white wine. You add some spices, typically like a cinnamon or some cloves, some citrus, and it is like I said earlier, it's like you're tasting Christmas. Really fun experience, and you get all these souvenir mugs at these different Christmas markets. You want to make sure that you leave some extra room in your luggage so you can bring all these back home with you as well, because we get a lot of people that aren't prepared for that. But it's about family. One thing that I'll share about AmaWaterways, when we started our company 18 years ago, we didn't want to just create another river cruise experience and put a new name on it. We wanted to really curate these experiences that were going to have unique things that nobody else was doing. This is actually, look at Gary, one of our co-owners as well. He takes a Christmas cruise every year with his family. This year, of course, being an exception because we weren't able to sail this year. But again, something really, really special. And then when we get on board the ship, when you walk in, this is actually the lobby on board. You're going to see all these decorations here, Christmas trees and things. When you walk up to your stateroom, after we get you checked in, there's a beautiful Christmas wreath on the door. There's one evening where all the guests are asked to put a shoe outside of their room, and Santa Claus, of course, will go around leaving different treats. And if you haven't been good, you may end up with a piece of coal in there too, but that's all part of the fun. But we also have a lot of things that we do, from Christmas caroling to gingerbread house making to decorating some trees in our lounge. When you walk in on the first day, you'll find some trees throughout the lounge area that are not decorated. So that's going to be part of the fun that we do with all the other guests once we're on board. In addition to that, some of the delicacies, from the glue vine that I talked about to the Black Forest German cake to the stolen bread, the Christmas goose on one evening, those spicy sausages. So not only, again, at the Christmas markets, but we'll bring some of these experiences on board the ship as well. And I don't want to forget also, I'm going to jump right into the itineraries, but keep in mind that all the different stops for all these different itineraries that we include, we're going to have anywhere between 4, even up to 5 or 6 shore tours included for our guests. So we really want to give you a choice. It's not as though we're going to say, here's your complimentary city tour where you have 75 people all clustered in. These are going to be smaller, more intimate groups that give you a choice. And we actually have one that's called a late riser. So if you don't want to get up and get going a little bit earlier, you can have one that has a little bit more of a mid-morning start for you. So you can grab breakfast, enjoy your coffee a bit longer, and then get going. But looking at the itinerary, starting with Amsterdam, this is an amazing town, lots and lots to do. What makes Amsterdam a little bit unique during the Christmas time is that they don't offer any Christmas market experiences, but they have what they call their Festival of Lights. So the entire city is completely lit up. These beautiful banners of light streamed across the different canals. So whether you're taking a canal cruise or you're just experiencing all the different walkways and going over all these different bridges, you're going to get some beautiful colors that are reflecting all over the water here, in addition to all the buildings. And if you want to do a pre-option with us and arrive a couple of days earlier, it'll just give you some additional time to go out and explore on your own as well.
That sounds nice.
It is. It's an amazing experience. Amsterdam has so many different things to explore, great cafes, in addition to just kind of going around and getting lost and seeing all that's out there what the locals are doing. As we make our way down the Rhine River, we're going to stop at Cologne, Germany. This is one of the major highlights I would share because it's such a large city, so many different things to do. This is the massive Cologne Cathedral, which took over 600 years to build. When you walk up upon this cathedral, the detail, I can't express it quite enough, that you'll see in every square inch of this entire massive structure is just mind-blowing. Going inside, it just, you're just totally taken aback and in awe. So take some time to experience that. In addition to the Christmas market, of course, where cruise managers will go out with you, kind of point you in the right direction. This is one of the larger Christmas markets. I mean, probably over 100 stalls to go out and experience some of the different foods, and in addition to all the different ornaments and gifts. When you're in Germany, the beautiful wooden handcrafted ornaments is something that you need to do. There's, of course, something that a lot of people ask about is like, what should I buy in the different towns? Check with your cruise manager, because there's going to be a lot of things that you'll be able to find at all the different Christmas markets in the different cities and countries you're visiting. We're going to stop at pass through 4 different countries on this itinerary. But there will be some unique items at each of these different places that you're only going to be able to find at those locations. So certainly the cruise manager to make sure you don't pass something up that you're really going to want or wish that you had actually purchased. Here's some of the beautiful glass globes that you get. There are some wonderful glass globes that they have like this that actually have an etching of the Cologne Cathedral on these too. So
Oh,
to
wow.
hang up each year on your Christmas tree is really just a wonderful memory. They've got their special glue vine mugs here that that again are going to be unique to the different towns as well. Here's a look at some of the different Santa Clauses that you can find. And what makes these really special is that the top portion of the body comes off, and you can add like a little incense or something inside, and it gives the illusion as though they're smoking because it'll come out of the mouth.
Oh.
A little bit lower here, you can't see it too clearly, but you'll see some of the little chimneys. These are little houses that have sort of the same effect that kind of comes out through the chimney. But again, some of those unique little things. The artisans, in some cases, are working on these for 10 months throughout the entire year.
Oh, wow.
They come here and sell it out in a matter of just a few weeks. The Christmas markets, just so you know, fall in line with the Advent calendar. So they officially kick off about 4 Sundays before. Some start a little bit earlier, some will stand just a little bit longer, but that's really the core of the time that you can look to participate in these. Here's a look at some of the glue vine stalls. And keep in mind that some of these were these family, run ones where generations they've had their unique recipes that they're doing. So they're going to taste very different in some cases as you're stopping along the way and tasting all these different things. But this is a regular cruise as well, right? So we don't take anything away from the normal itinerary. These are all just elements that we add as addition. Highlight on the Rhine, of course, is always going to be the Rhine Gorge. This is an area where your cruise manager really takes center stage. They come out, they're storytelling about these 40 some different castles that you're going to be passing by, talking about, the romance of the area, the history from the fact that this was central to the Holy Roman Empire, the 30 Years' War, the Napoleonic War. So they're bringing all those things to life for you as they've brought out some blankets, because it is going to be chilly if you're out on deck, bringing some of that glue vine, maybe some of the Rudesheimer coffee, which I'll talk about in a minute as well. But they're really, again, bringing all these things to life for you in a wonderful history lesson. Rudesheim is a wonderful town that we stop at next. It has its own beautiful, charming Christmas market. It's not going to be nearly as large as the one that we're going to have experienced in Cologne, Germany. There's a gondola ride option that you can take where it takes you all the way up to the hilltop. You get some wonderful views looking over the river. There's a wine tasting experience that starts out kind of at the lower area of this vineyard. And then as you go a little bit higher, there's another tasting. You can now take in another view, and then it takes you higher and higher till you have the ultimate view. But one of my favorites is the Rudesheimer coffee experience. They use this wonderful German Osbach brandy. They light it on fire as they pour it into these specially designed mugs that you can only get in Rudesheimer. They pour it in maybe a good 1.5 feet high. They add some bold coffee to it. They'll then add some chocolate shavings and some vanilla cream, and it is wonderful. So I would look to pick up some of this brandy. In fact, I want to pick some up myself. I just looked. You can find it at Total Wine or Bevmo as well too. And it's not too expensive. So you want this experience. It's certainly something worth trying. Heidelberg is going to be another highlight. Heidelberg, I mean, so much history. This actually holds the oldest university in Germany. Here, it also has the longest street where, it's got a bunch of different shops to go out and kind of just do some wonderful shopping. But they have a quaint little Christmas market here as well that you can explore. There's a wonderful hike called the Philosopher Hike, which takes you up this little funicular, up this wooden rail system up to the top where you can go and spend some time at Heidelberg Castle. There's a wonderful tour that we offer there. There's also the world's largest wine barrel here, which is one of those things that, if nothing else, you need to take a picture next to it just to say that you were there. It measures 8 meters high, 7.5 meters wide. I don't know how many thousands of gallons it holds, but again, just another fun little thing to experience there. We'll then push on to another amazing stop. This is Strasbourg. I always like to tell people there's just nowhere that you could take a bad picture in Strasbourg, an amazing little town, kind of the queen of the Christmas markets, or Christmas time, if you will. These wonderful 16th, 17th century half timber homes, a number of amazing Christmas markets. The other thing I didn't share is that while there are some major Christmas markets, you're very often going to find all these other little Christmas markets spread out throughout the town. So you're going to have a lot of chances to pick up some good shopping. And for as many people that tell us, listen, I don't want to do too much shopping. everybody ends up doing a ton. So be sure that you bring some extra luggage space with you. But lots to do and experience here. We got a great city walking tour. There's a cycling tour if it's not you to take that in, but we're going to spend the full day here. So in addition to those different excursions that we're offering, you're going to have a lot of free time to go out and explore on your own. But this city is rich in history, certainly something fun to look forward to. And Christine insider tips. So again, if you remember, I mentioned Christine is one of our owners. You don't want to miss the Gengenbach experience. This is actually an optional tour from Strasbourg. There's a lot of people that aren't aware of this, and they kind of look at it and think like, oh, it's this little town that's going to be about a 45-minute drive to. You don't want to miss this. This is something really unique that we include for our guests. There's some other river cruise lines that offer this as an excursion that they'll charge you for. We include this for our guests. It's located in the Black Forest, this old medieval town. But they take this old town hall building and it turns into an advent calendar each year, just the right amount of windows. And there's a new theme each year. They come out, they do a little, like a little play that they do right in front. It's all in German, of course, too, but you can kind of pick up on the different things along the way. But each evening they're opening up a different window that expresses something for the theme of that year too. So certainly a highlight here. What I would also mention is that it starts a little bit later in the evening, because some of the Christmas markets we'll be going to maybe earlier in the day. This one's going to have a wonderful, colorful feel because it's going to be a little bit later in the evening. And then we'll wind up in Basel, Switzerland, right? So we started off in the Netherlands. We made our way into Germany, France. We're now going to end in Switzerland. You can end your time here, explore some of what Basel has to offer, or you can extend your trip. If you did a few additional nights in Amsterdam on the front end, you can add a few extra nights. There's a 4-night option to spend 2 nights in Lucerne and 2 nights in Zurich. And new for 2021 will be an additional 3 nights in Lake Como. This is new for us. Our first step into Italy. This one is specific for our RHINE castles in Swiss Alps. So some great options. You can take that 7-day cruise and expand it out to, you know, an additional 3 or 4 nights on top of that.
Wow. That's nice. That's awesome.
It's an amazing experience. Really quickly, we have some great special offers for you. Holiday triple savings, where you can save up to an additional $1,000 per person, plus complimentary stateroom upgrades, plus $50 per person onboard credits on select sailings. And if you book between now and December 22nd, exclusive for Cindy and her guests, you'll save an additional $100 per person. Just let Cindy know. She'll get in touch with you and I'll make sure that gets applied for you.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Right. So that's unique to you. And that really is kind of it, you know, in wrapped up as tightly as I could for you, just to touch upon those highlights here. But we really look forward to welcoming everybody back on board as soon as we can. We're very optimistic that we'll be able to sail next year. We don't know exactly when that's going to be, but we're prepared for it and just waiting for the green light to be able to go.
Yeah. I can't wait to get back on a cruise ship.
Absolutely. Any questions I can answer for you, Cindy, or anything else that you would add or questions you may have?
I had no idea that the Christmas markets, or some of them, were around the Advent calendar. You know, as many times as I've been through these presentations, I never knew that. And that one little town looks so amazing where they actually open the windows. That's
Gengenbach, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I have always wanted to do the Christmas markets, and now I want to do them even more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One other really, really quick story, and this took place from one of our owners, Rudesheimers, Christine Karst's husband, when they were in Budapest over on the Danube. And Rudy tells a story that they were, you know, on the ship actually, and they heard the church bells ring from St. Stephen's Cathedral. And we're right in the middle of town, right? So we're very close to all these attractions. So they kind of rushed out, made their way through the crowd, and were able to make it in time of the midnight mass. He talked about being able to go up and receive communion. So I just love that story, because to be in these places at that time of year, again, we don't have anything like this in North America. We've got some special things, but there's such a history to this that you just really can't get anywhere. So those are quite memorable.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the decorations and the smells and, oh my goodness.
That's right. That's right.
I love Christmas anyways, but it's on my bucket list. Definitely on my bucket list.
I'm happy to hear that. And we'd like to have you on board AmaWaterways when you do that.
Well, I'm there. I'd love it. So, and I don't think I have any other questions. I was just amazed to learn that one little new thing. So, you know, you can never say you don't learn anything new every day.
That's right. That's right. Well, Cindy, as you know, we've got a lot of resources. We've got a lot of special offers out right now too. I kind of wanted to highlight the ones that I did for you, but we've even got some other ones to look at. So if I can help with anything, you of course know how to reach me, and I know you will. But thank you once again for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very grateful that you and many other of my suppliers have been so gracious as to join me for this. We do have 2 more scheduled in January and February, correct?
Correct. That's right.
Yep. So I'll be looking forward to that. And this will just give me some nice little Christmas dreams tonight. So thank you for this
Love it.
presentation.
You've got it. Anytime. Thank you all so much. I appreciate being able to be here.
All right. You have a wonderful day, and I will be in touch soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Cindy. Bye-bye.
Right. Take care. Bye.
Yep.